Hey friends! So Crocktober is definitely winding down. We are at the end of the month, but I still have something up my sleeve. Today I'm going to share spiced nuts. This is a recipe that I made for the first time last year, but my husband absolutely fell in love with these things. They are divine. If you like pumpkin pie and that kind of flavor, the pie spice flavor, you're gonna love these nuts. They are warm and delicious and sweet and delightful, and they're so easy to make in your slow cooker. You just need nuts, some egg whites, and your spice mix. Mind you, this is what I'm using for a spice mix. You can use all kinds of things. You could stick to just sweet, like brown sugar, cinnamon, or you could go savory and add some cayenne pepper or curry powder, things like that. This will go a lot of different directions, but this is definitely a crowd pleaser. These nuts are so easy to make and they are a wonderful snack. All right, enough chatting. Let's jump right in.
All right, friends, I'm super excited about this Crocktober recipe. This is definitely a family favorite. We love these so much. I put them out last year throughout the whole holiday season, and they were just absolutely amazing. If you've ever wondered what Christmas tastes like, these nuts are it. So I started off with 1 egg white, and none of the recipes really said to do this, but I always whip mine up till it gets slightly foamy. I just feel like it coats a little bit better when you do that. And this is in real time. Doesn't take more than a minute. It's pretty quick to happen. I think that was all of maybe, 40 seconds. Once they get a bit foamy like that, then we're gonna go ahead and add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Keep in mind, I am making this a sweet nut, but you could always do these more savory. You would leave out the sugar and the spice blend that I use in the vanilla and add in salt and whatever spice mix you want. Cayenne pepper, curry powder, garlic powder, onion powder, chili powder, any of those kind of things would be absolutely fantastic. But for us, we're gonna go sweet. So next I'm adding in a 1/2 cup of granulated sugar and a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. I know it sounds like a lot, but we are doing 4.5 cups of nuts. And I mean, basically these are candied nuts. They're a treat and they are delicious. And as you can see, the sugar kind of thickens everything up. So we're gonna add in a 1/4 cup of water and then just kind of stir it really well to make sure there's no lumps and clumps. You know how brown sugar can get clumpy sometimes. We wanna make sure that everything is nicely incorporated and well mixed. And now we're gonna start adding our spices. I do 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon of allspice, 1/2 teaspoon of cloves, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ginger. I know it sounds like a lot, but trust me, these are amazing. They have a great flavor and it's just, they're so good. I mean, they smell like Christmas, they taste like Christmas, they are fantastic. So we're gonna go ahead and make sure the spices are mixed in really well, and again, no lumps, no clumps. And we're gonna add in 4.5 cups of nuts of your choice. I'm going with walnuts. I don't really care for pecans, and I feel like walnuts are the closest price point. They have a really great texture. I like the way they taste. I'm sure things like cashews and almonds would be absolutely amazing in here, but do keep in mind they do typically cost a little bit more. I can go to Sam's Club and get like 3 pounds of these guys for a little bit under $10. And that kind of gets me through a lot of the holiday season. I don't know, this year I plan on a lot of baking, so I may need 2 bags, I don't know. But you can really use whichever ones you choose. All right, over to our slow cooker, and I'm gonna tell you the most important step in this process right now. Spray your slow cooker with nonstick spray. This stuff is like glue. If you do not spray it, you will be scrubbing that thing for days. But once it is nicely sprayed and coated really, really well, go ahead and dump your nut mix in there. Make sure you get all of the liquid mix and everything put in there and just kind of smooth it out into one layer. And we're gonna cook this on low for 4 hours. Now, as it cooks, we're gonna go ahead and stir it about every 45 minutes or so, because as you'll see, I'm gonna show you in a clip in a minute, all of that seasoning mix kind of settles down at the bottom. And we wanna make sure that as it's cooking on the nuts, and that everything stays nicely coated. So it had been cooking for a little while here. You can see it all settled, and I'm stirring it, and it just goes right on up and recoats all of those walnuts beautifully. And then as you can see, this is the last time I stirred it. It has thickened, it has darkened a bit. It's been 4 hours. I can tell that it's ready. It's still gonna be liquidy. Don't worry, we'll take care of that in a minute. But it has darkened and it's thickened. That's how I know that it's definitely ready. There is coating, adhering to the nuts. So let's head on over and grab a baking sheet and then line it with parchment paper or a sil pad or something. You definitely want a lined baking sheet. And I like to like crumble my parchment paper up in a ball, and it's easier to flatten it out that way. It behaves a little bit better. Then we're gonna go ahead and just pour those nuts right on our parchment paper. I like to smooth them out and make sure they're in like a single layer and kind of spread them out the best that I can. Don't worry, we're gonna go in here and break them up once they set, but I do try to kind of make it a little bit easier to deal with by spreading them out a bit. And then we're gonna find a nice place for these guys to hang out for at least 30 minutes so that that coating has time to dry and set, and they will become candied, and the outside texture is kind of similar to a praline. They're super delicious, and once they have set, they're not sticky anymore. They're nice and dry, and they are just absolutely wonderful. In your house, oh my gosh, your house will smell so divine. I did take one right there to taste it just to make sure everything tasted the way I want it. And there they are when they're dry, and as you can see, I'm just like barely touching them, and they just fall right apart, so it's not hard to break the clumps up. It's no big deal. They're really super delicious, and these will keep in an airtight container for quite a few weeks. I made a couple of batches last year and served them all throughout the holiday season. They were easy to make, and they were a hit. They are so delicious, and of course you could always put them in like little bento box lunches and things like that as a nice treat as well. Anyway, guys, this was definitely my favorite Crocktober recipe to share with y'all. It's one that we just adored, and I was absolutely looking forward to fall and the holidays to start making this again because they are just so delicious. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe, and I hope you make it at home. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, or if you're going to try a savory method, shoot me a recipe. Let me know what you're going to do. I'd love to try that as well. All right, guys, October's winding down. We're heading into November. Fall is here, and we're getting into the holiday season. I'm super excited. I have lots of fun things I can't wait to cook and share with y'all. I hope y'all are having an amazing week, and I hope your weekend is wonderful. I will see y'all on Sunday with a What's for Dinner video. Bye.